Hi there. I want to talk today about something that I'm calling the superhuman compulsion, which is basically the domesticated way in which we've learned how to strive, consume, and accumulate in order to find some sense of well-being. And I want to start by talking about two of my favorite superheroes. I don't know, they weren't the most popular, but maybe some of you remember the Wonder Twins. They were extraterrestrials from, I can't remember the name of the planet they were from, but basically it was a brother and a sister, twins, who had lost their parents in a plague, and I think initially they had been taken into some kind of intergalactic circus, and they felt like they had other powers that they wanted to be using and a bigger purpose in life. So eventually they escaped from the circus, and they discovered that they had these superpowers that when they would put their hands together, and literally they would say, Wonder Twin powers activate. And then the sister, Jaina, she would activate into any kind of animal that she wanted to become. And the brother, Zan, he would become some form of water. You know, he might turn into a sled of ice, made out of ice, or a waterfall, or steam, like any form. And over time, what they had learned that there was a villain on their planet that was wanting to destroy Earth. So they came to Earth, and they immediately met up with the League of Justice and the Super Friends, and they gave them notice and word and became crime fighters. So the power that I find in their story that I always loved is that it actually took each other. Like, they had the superpowers in them, but they actually needed each other to activate them. And I don't know, I think what moves me so much about that right now is that there's a way in which we are social human animals, and we really need each other. We need each other to grow. We need each other to reflect back our lovability. We need each other to show our blind spots, because as being conditioned creatures that we all are, there's ways in which we operate unconsciously that doesn't always serve what we most long to be doing or impacting other people. So what I love so much about them is not only was it playful, but it was really powerful. Like, they actually had been born with a superpower that they couldn't access without the help of one another. And it's just reminding me so much about what's happening during this time. In a way, we all have superpowers. They probably look really different. And the thing is, I feel like we live in a society where there's been so much domestication and so much conditioning that a lot of us actually have overridden them. We've exiled some of our superpowers, or we lean on them so much that we miss other parts of ourselves, or we're unable to see the shadow. So, you know, I think back to some of what I've read about indigenous tribes and how early in life, when a child is born, the shaman or the elder, one of the elders in the tribe, will literally connect and commune with that being's soul. And they will listen to what that person's purpose and mission is here for the tribe, but really for the collective of humanity. And everyone, once that gets established, from very early age, the child is sort of revered and through a lot of tough love, fierce love, but really encouraged to become what that medicine, that part of them, to help them become initiated into their full self. And so there's a way in which, in tribes, there's an interruption to the process of domestication, which can be trying to make people into who we want them to be for us. That is one form of domestication. It happens all the time in really subtle ways. We domesticate ourselves, we domesticate each other, we're domesticated by larger systems that have a lot of power, authority, and bankrolling the money that they can do whatever they wish with, which sometimes includes not the best interest of the whole. So these tribes were able to elevate. And I think what's happened in the modern Western world is that we've lost the art of literally seeing each other for who we really are. And instead of I'm going to say polishing each other's egos, we've missed, which is kind of giving, kind of elevating people for some of the ways that they're operating that aren't necessarily serving the whole, and they're coming from a lot of anxiety, instead of helping people learn how to drop into the center of their being and learn to know that they're enough. We're enough. And I think many of us learn to create adaptations around the essence of who we are, the authentic expression of who we are, when we felt like those parts were not allowed, or they were shamed, or they were criticized, or we felt humiliated. And so I think that right now is a time where we have an opportunity to not only access more of what our superpowers are, but really to leverage each other's. We're not meant to be conformed into cookie cutters of one another. And yet, I know for me, I grew up in a time where I felt very conditioned. I actually didn't know. I literally didn't know my true self because I was so busy trying to become who I thought I was supposed to be. And that was in every realm of my life. And so I think what I really wanted to just name today is, as we start to investigate these deeper aspects of this, what I'm calling superhuman compulsion, I think it's really powerful to look at two key components of it. One is the addiction to busyness, and the other is just how often are we seeking externally for our value? How often are we striving to prove ourselves? And how much can we be honest with ourselves about when we're doing that? Because I think those are two of the biggest ways that we domesticate ourselves and each other. And so, like the sister and brother, the Wonder Twins, there's something right now about how can we help each other find our superpowers again. And I think in a time where we have been domesticated and there's a ton of fear moving around right now with the virus, understandably, it's hitting on everything, any relationship, well, all relationship to the unknown is going to get revealed of how we relate to that in any given moment right now. And that's really what fear ignites. So I think really what I want to name today is this is real, like this sense that we give our power away by trying to become someone else, and that right now some of the antidotes to that is slowing down. What's possible if we could slow down, actually really connect with each other? Obviously, there's a lot of us that can't do that right now because we're on the front lines. And I'm so appreciative for all the people who are in the medical industry and are delivering our food and our packages. I mean, there's just, how could we possibly express the gratitude for something so essential right now? And I think what I really want to name right now is just the inquiry and the invitation to slow down together and to really look at how can we help polish the dust off of each other's superpower and help each other regulate our nervous systems enough where we could be creative about what's next, what's possible during this time. So I think I could ramble on and on, but I'm just noticing the minutes, so I'm going to cut myself off here. If you want to learn more about my thoughts around this superhuman compulsion, the striving, accumulating, please check out the link. I'll add a link to the blog article, and send me any questions. I love being in conversation. Thanks for watching.